Hello, everyone. My name is Miguel Sanchez, and my final project is an interview between Dante and Dido. Dante first met Dido in Book 5 of Inferno, and according to the Divine Comedy, Dido inhabits the second circle of Inferno, along with other individuals whose main sin was lust. In the original text, Dante barely mentions Dido, and they do not really interact together. For my presentation, however, I have decided to create a conversation between the two characters. My interview is written like a newspaper or magazine article that pretends that a new draft of Book 5 of Inferno has been found and published. In this draft, Dante had presented a completely different version of Dido than the characters seen in the Divine Comedy, and even more different than the Dido depicted in Virgil's Aeneid. Although Dido was likely based on a historical queen who escaped ancient Phoenicia in modern Lebanon and settled in Carthage, which is in modern North Africa, she's best known today for her appearance in Virgil's Aeneid. The epic poem tells the story of Aeneas, a Trojan hero who escaped Troy and made his way into Italy, where the gods had planned for him to find what would eventually become the city of Rome. His way to Italy, however, was a long one, and he and his troops were forced to make a stop in the city of Carthage, which was ruled by Dido. According to Virgil, Dido immediately fell in love with Aeneas. And although he loved her as well, he did not stay with her in Carthage due to his divine fate to establish Rome. Thus, Aeneas had to leave her and her city behind. The lust that Dido had for Aeneas drove her mad, and she ended her own life as Aeneas's ship sailed away from Carthage. In my project, Dido herself tells her own side of the story. The story begins similarly to the real text of the Divine Comedy. Dante sees Dido weeping along with the lustful in the second circle of Inferno. But in this instance, he approaches her. Dante asks Dido if she's crying for Aeneas, which immediately angers her, and she begins to tell the truth about the events that really occurred. Dido explains that almost every detail of the Aeneid is false, although she did rule Carthage when Aeneas and the Trojans arrived. They were not kind to her people, and she did not love nor lust Aeneas. Instead, the Trojans destroyed her city, and Aeneas would not stop them until Dido gave herself to him. The queen, however, did not want to shame herself in such a way, but she also did not want her citizens to suffer. Thus, she killed herself. This leads to several awkward moments between Dante and Virgil, who listens along to Dido's story in shame for having lied about her story. Dido reveals that when she arrived in Inferno, God decided to partly forgive her for her sin of suicide because he pitied her, and he understood that he sacrificed herself for her citizens. He did not forgive her completely, however, so God had to come up with a fair punishment, or at least fair to his own concept of divine justice. He decided not to send her to the seventh circle of Inferno with those who committed suicide. Instead, he allowed Virgil's story to be remembered for eternity as the only true story of events, and thus he made Dido suffer the punishment of lust. Yeah, that's my project, my final project on Dante and Dido. Thank you.